You're eating the same diet you ate a year ago. You're training the same way. You're hitting your protein numbers, your carbs, your fats. Everything is dialed in exactly the way it was when you were making progress. And somehow the results have quietly stopped showing up. You're tired after meals you used to feel energized by. Your post workout pump isn't what it used to be. Your fat loss has stalled despite identical effort. Your strength has plateaued. And the worst part is you can't even point to what changed because nothing in your routine has changed. Something inside you changed. Specifically, your body has slowly stopped responding to insulin the way it used to. And almost nobody in fitness content is going to explain to you what that actually means or how badly it affects every single thing you're trying to do in the gym. Because insulin resistance isn't just a diabetes thing, it's a gains thing. And it's been silently sabotaging gym people for years, while the conversation has been stuck on protein grams and meal timing. Here's what insulin actually is, because the gym world has somehow developed a weirdly negative relationship with this hormone. Insulin is your body's primary delivery hormone. Its job is to take the nutrients sitting in your bloodstream after you eat, glucose from carbs, amino acids from protein, and move them into the cells that need them, your muscle cells, your liver cells, your fat cells. When insulin works properly, the system is elegant. You eat a meal, insulin rises, nutrients get delivered exactly where they're supposed to go, blood sugar returns to baseline, and your body uses what you fed it efficiently. When insulin stops working properly, when your cells become resistant to its signal, the entire delivery system breaks down. Your body has to release more and more insulin to get the same effect. Nutrients hang around in the bloodstream longer than they should. Your muscles aren't getting fed the way they used to be. And the food you're eating starts to behave differently inside you, even when the food itself hasn't changed at all. Here's the part that should make every gym person sit up. Insulin's job in muscle building isn't just about glucose, it's also about amino acids. Insulin is the hormone that triggers the vasodilation that pushes blood into your muscles and activates the transporters that pull amino acids from circulation into the muscle cell. Specifically, two transporters called SNAT2 and L81, the same ones we covered in Video 6's protein delivery breakdown. Without proper insulin signaling, those transporters underperform, which means your protein arrives at the muscle cell, the door doesn't open properly, and the amino acids you carefully consumed just sit outside the cell while your body works overtime trying to get them in. This is why insulin resistance is genuinely a muscle building problem, not just a metabolic one. The protein you ate is only as useful as your body's ability to deliver it. And right now, for a significant percentage of the gym population, that delivery system is running at maybe 70 or 80% of capacity without anyone realizing. So, how does insulin sensitivity drop in the first place? The biggest single contributor, and this one is going to feel familiar by now, is sleep. Research published in Diabetologia found that just one night of partial sleep deprivation cuts insulin sensitivity by 25%. One night. 6 nights of restricted sleep drops sensitivity by around 40%. That's not a permanent drop, but if you're chronically underslept, which most gym people are, your insulin sensitivity is operating at a permanently reduced level. Your muscles can't pull glucose in efficiently. They can't pull amino acids in efficiently. Your training fuel is broken before you've even hit the gym. And the wild part is that one extra hour of sleep could legitimately do more for your physique than another scoop of protein, but the math has been completely backwards in gym culture for years. The second contributor is body fat, which creates the same vicious cycle we saw with testosterone. Visceral fat, the fat stored around your organs in your midsection, actively secretes inflammatory cytokines, especially TNF alpha and IL 6. These cytokines directly interfere with insulin receptors on your muscle cells, so the more visceral fat you carry, the worse your insulin sensitivity becomes. Worse insulin sensitivity makes it harder to manage carbs, easier to store fat, and harder to build lean tissue. More body fat develops, the cycle accelerates. This is why dirty bulking past a certain body fat percentage genuinely sabotages your ability to build muscle efficiently, even when calories and protein are correct. Your hormonal environment becomes less anabolic, less efficient, and less responsive with every percentage point of body fat you carry beyond your optimal range. The third contributor is sedentary behavior. Most gym people think a 60-minute training session compensates for sitting for the other 23 hours of the day. It doesn't. Research has shown that just 2 weeks of reduced step count, going from a normal active day to mostly sedentary, drops insulin sensitivity by 35%, 2 weeks. Most desk job lifters have been operating in some version of this state for years. The gym session helps. It absolutely helps, but it doesn't undo the metabolic damage of 16 hours of sitting per day. Movement throughout the day, walk, standing, light activity, is genuinely as important for insulin sensitivity as the workout itself. The fourth contributor is the food environment, and this is the one where gym people often think they're doing fine when they're not. Ultra-processed foods, especially those high in refined carbs and seed oils, drive insulin resistance over time, even at maintenance calories. The gym person who hits their macros perfectly using a mix of processed protein bars, sugary supplements, refined carbs, and convenience foods is technically eating correctly on paper while slowly degrading their insulin response. Whole food sources matter here, and not for vague wellness reasons. They matter because the food matrix, fiber content, and nutrient density genuinely affect how your body processes the meal. Hitting your numbers with whole foods produces a different hormonal response than hitting the same numbers with processed substitutes. The macro math is the same. The hormonal math isn't. The fifth contributor is chronic stress, which loops us directly back to videos 7 and 8. Cortisol and insulin are antagonists. When cortisol is chronically elevated, insulin sensitivity drops because cortisol's job is literally to mobilize glucose into the bloodstream and resist insulin's storage signal. The chronic stress state we've been describing across the last two videos isn't just a cortisol problem and a testosterone problem, it's an insulin problem too. All three of these hormones move together. Fix one, the others improve. Ignore one, the others suffer. This is why isolated interventions rarely work. The body is a system. And the sixth contributor, the one almost known fitness content discusses, is resistance training itself, or more accurately, the lack of it. A single resistance training session improves muscle insulin sensitivity for up to 48 hours afterward. Regular lifting genuinely is one of the most powerful insulin sensitizing activities the body can do. Missing a week of training doesn't just stall your gains. It actively reduces your insulin sensitivity. So when you skip the gym for 2 weeks, come back and feel weaker and more sluggish than you should, that's not just detraining. That's your insulin response degrading at the cellular level. So what does fixing this actually look like? Sleep 7 to 9 hours consistently. Train with resistance at least 3 to 4 times a week. Move throughout the day. Steps genuinely matter. Get your body fat into a healthy range, especially visceral fat around the midsection. Prioritize whole food sources over processed convenience foods. Manage cortisol because it directly antagonizes insulin. Time your carbs around training when possible. Your muscles are most insulin sensitive in the hours surrounding a workout. And skip the trendy interventions like extreme low carb or extended fasting unless they genuinely fit your goals. Because for most gym people, they create more problems than they solve. Your hormones are a system. Cortisol breaks gains, testosterone builds them, insulin delivers the materials. When all three are working, your body responds to training and food the way it's supposed to. When even one is off, the whole system slows down. And right now, for most gym people, all three are mildly compromised at once. The fix isn't a supplement, it's the unsexy basics done consistently for long enough to let your hormones recalibrate.